the sages of the universe, who came to know that something remarkable is going to take place. Ved Vyas himself, Vasisht, Atri, Pulastya, Pulaha, all the great sages, they started congregating there, reaching through the aerial pathway. Parikshit said, "O sages, I have a few questions, spiritual curiosity. I will request any one of you to sit on the Vyasasana and answer my doubts." None of them sat. They waited for the one who was qualified. And that was the 16-year-old son of Ved Vyas, Shukadeva Maharaj. Shukadeva reached that assembly. He was not even wearing clothes. Without taking anybody's permission, the Vyasasana, the speaker's seat was there. He came and sat down. Now Parikshit said, "Gurudev, why waste time in doing puja, arati, etc.? Time is of essence. I have got only 7 days left." Without going into unnecessary background details, I wish to ask you what is the means for welfare. So he says, "Yat shrotavyam athojapyam yat kartavyam praneh prabho smartavyam bhajaniyam va bruhi yadva viparyayam." O great sage, for one who is close to death, what is the most powerful and effective way to attain the supreme destination? What japa should he do? What kirtan? What vrat, fasting? What holy places should he visit? What austerities should he perform? Should he do fire sacrifices or not? Please satisfy my curiosity. With this question, the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavat ends. There are 12 cantos in the Srimad Bhagavat. Traditionally, more time is spent on the first, but now we need to speed up. In the second canto, Shukadeva begins answering. Shukadeva as well was so thrilled to hear the questions of Parikshit that he forgot to do his Mangalarchan, prayers of invocation, and began straight away. So the Mangalacharan of Ved Vyas was right in the beginning. The Mangalacharan of Sutaji was in the end of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And the Mangalacharan of Shukadeva comes in the middle. Shukadeva said, "O Parikshit, you have said I have got 7 days in which to die. The fact is, everybody has only 7 days in which to die. There are only 7 days. If you start from Sunday and end on Saturday, you start from Ravivar and end on Shanivar, there are 7 days in the week in which everybody will die. The advantage that you have is, you have come to know your time of death, and so you can prepare for it. Your ancestor in this Suryavansh was Maharaj Khatwang. He had aided the celestial devatas in their fights against the Daityas. And when the devatas were victorious, they asked Maharaj Khatwang, "Ask us for a boon." Maharaj Khatwang, your ancestor, he said, "How much time do I have to live?" They said, "Ded ghadi." Ded ghadi is less than half an hour. So when he came to know, in that Ded ghadi, He gathered the strands of his mind, brought himself to complete focus, and with the firm resolve of his intellect, he surrendered his mind to the Supreme and attained the ultimate perfection in that limited time. You have 7 days to prepare. So first of all, ensure you have got no fear of death. And how will you ensure that? People come and ask, Swamiji, how to give up fear? I have got this fear, I have got that fear. The answer is, the cause of fear is, what is it? Attachment. Bhoge roge bhayam kule tuti bhayam vitte kripalat bhayam sarvamastu bhayan vitam bhuvinirnam vairagyameva bhayam. The moment you become virat, detached, everything is all right, whatever God wants. My job is to surrender to Him, not to give too much importance to my desires. The moment we detach ourselves from desires, Tahi vidhi rakhe Ram, Tahi vidhi rahiye, this fear disappears. So, Parikshit, you need to rise above fear. Second, you need to finish Rag Dvesh. Hankering and aversion for the world. Give it up. Because if the mind is distracted to the world, how will you take it to God? So rise beyond hankering and aversion. And now Shukadeva teaches Parikshit meditation. So he taught Parikshit 2 kinds of dhyan. The first is Virat Ka Dhyan, meditation on the cosmic form of God. God is everywhere. The whole world is a manifestation of His energies. And hence, He is sitting inside everybody. So when you realize the presence of God in everyone, the attachment and aversion, they disappear. There are such inspiring stories of saints and their vision of seeing God everywhere. The story of Sant Namdev of Maharashtra. He was sitting and eating from a plate when a dog came and took the roti and ran. Sant Namdev created the sentiment, Vithalnath has come to eat. So he ran with ghee, oh Vithalnath, you are eating the sukhi dry roti, it will pain your throat. Wait, let me apply ghee on it. He is having divine vision towards the world. That's the story of Sant Eknath. Sant Eknath was going to Rameshwaram. The tradition has it that you take water from the river Yamuna in the north and you offer it on Rameshwar Bhagavan. So with great difficulty he had gathered the water and he was on a holy pilgrimage. Close to Rameshwaram, he found a donkey in the desert, dying of thirst. Sant Eknath had no dilemma before him. He said, Rameshwar Bhagavan will drink through the mouth of this donkey, let me offer the water to the donkey. So this is the vision of the saint who sees God everywhere. So he taught Parikshit how to meditate on the cosmic form of the Lord, seeing the sun and moon as his eyes, seeing the rivers as his arteries, etc. However, alongside with that cosmic meditation, you also need to increase your love for his personal form. So Shukadeva taught Rupa Dhyan, meditation on the personal form. And having done this, he says, Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha Smartavyashchechata Bhayam. O Parikshit, there is no need to complicate things. Just adopt these three practices. Shravan, Kirtan, Smaran. Chant the glories of God. Hear them with your ears and remember them with your mind. This is the Tridha Bhakti. Again he repeats it. Tasmat sarvatmana rajan hari sarvatra sarvada shrotavya kirtitavyascha smartavyo bhagavan nrinam shravanam kirtanam dhyanam hare adbhuta karmanah. The whole Bhagavat is emphasizing this threefold devotion. Chant, hear, and most important, remember. Then he tells Parikshit, look, the knowledge I am giving you is not a creation of my intellect. It is not a figment of my imagination. What I am telling you is the essence of all the Vedas. And that is important. You see, knowledge when it is given must be credible. The person receiving it must have faith that it's coming from a reliable source. And the reliable source is not the intellect of the speaker. It is the authority of the scriptures. Hence he says, Bhagavan Brahmakartsnena Triratvikshya Manishaya Tadabhyavasya Kutastho Ratiratmanyato Bhavet. Brahmaji, the creator, he churned all the scriptures and he came to the conclusion that the essence of all the scriptures is what? What is it? Learn to love God. If you remember that one essence, you have got the summary of all the scriptures. So at that time, the sages Shaunak, they told Sutaji, wow, we are delighted with what you are telling us. Now remember one thing, what Shukadev is telling Parikshit is being conveyed by Sutaji to Shaunakadik. Remember, that's where we started, right? Sutaji started relating to Shaunakadik. And he told them how Shukadev became the speaker and Parikshit became the listener. So in the Katha by Sutaji to Shaunakadik, the Katha of Shukadev and Parikshit is coming. So in one story, the other comes in the other comes, like in mathematics, you have got nested sets. Bhagavat, that was related by Shukadev to Parikshit. At that time, Sutaji was also present. And he subsequently related it to Shaunakadik. And Ved-Vyas, the great Ved-Vyas, he then took that Bhagavat and compiled it. That is the Bhagavat that we have received. So Shaunakadik, hearing the discussion between Shukadev and Parikshit, they started clapping. And they said, Gurudev, what you are talking about is thrilling to our hearts. Vilevato krama vikramandena shrinvatah karnamutena rasya jivvasati dadurike pasuta lachopagaya yurgaya gatha. Those eyes that are not utilized to see the image of the deity in the temple are like the eyes on the tail plumes of a peacock. Those ears that are not engaged in listening to the glories of God are like the hole that is utilized by the snake. That tongue which does not chant the names of God is like the tongue of a frog. In the monsoon, when the rains fall, the frogs start doing tar tar tar, pit pit pit, on. Such is the tongue of the person who doesn't chant the names of God. And that heart which does not melt into tears, remembering the Lord, is as hard as a thunderbolt. Tulsidas ji has written the same in the Ramayana. Jina Hari Katha Suni Nahi Kana Shravana Ranja Ahi Bhavana Samana Jo Na Karai Ram Gunagana Jiha So Dadur Jiha Samana. So, Shaunakadik, they said to Sutji Gurudev, we would like to hear a little bit about creation. How did this creation take place? Please tell us. Sutji said, Oh Shaunakadik, I am so happy you asked me this question. The same question was asked by Parikshit to Shukadev. And when Parikshit asked Shukadev that question, Shukadev was delighted. He said, Parikshit, the question you have asked me was also put by sage Narad to his father Brahma. Narad said, Pitaji, we know you as Srishti Karta, the creator of this world. Are you the supreme power? Or do you create this world utilizing the power of somebody else? What is the source of your energy? So Brahmaji said, Srijami Tanni Yukto Ham Haro Harati Tadvasha Vishwam Purusha Rupena Paripati Trishakti Dhrik. He said, Naradji, Srijami, I do create. Tanni Yukto Ham. Appointed by him, I create. And Haro Harati, Shankarji, he does the annihilation. How? Receiving the power from him. So it is he whose power is enabling all this to happen. Naradji said that God, Maharaj, this word God, G-O-D, is also an acronym for generator, operator and destroyer, right? So who is that G-O-D? Brahmaji says, Naham Nayuyam Yadritam Gatim Vidur Namam Deva Kimuta Paresura Tammaya Mohita Buddhayastvidam Vinirmitam Jatma Samam Prachakshvahe. Naradji, I cannot know. Even you are unable to know. What to speak of the souls of that world? How will they know him? He is divine. People's intellect is material. With that material intellect, they are never able to fathom the divine God. Brahmaji related his own story. He said, when this universe was created, I found myself to be born on a lotus flower. All around me was raw energy. I didn't know who I am, what my purpose is, why am I here. So the stem of the lotus, I tried to enter it. And I kept going for 1,000 years and didn't find the source. So I retracted my steps. And then as I sat on the lotus flower, the energy around me, it was like an ocean. The waves of the ocean were speaking to me. Tapa, tapa, tapa. I got the hint. I should practice austerities. Before any good work, one has to perform austerities. That is why life, the first ashram, the brahmacharya ashram, is the time for austerities. Students are preparing for the rest of the life. They are practicing the austerities, studying, acquiring qualities and skills. Brahmaji said, I sat down and did my austerities. As a consequence, the Lord, Sri Krishna, gave me darshan. And he spoke 4 verses in my heart. That was the Chatushloki Bhagavat. Now the Bhagavat before us has got 18,000 verses. The seed of it was those 4 verses. They are called the Chatushloki Bhagavat. Sri Krishna illumined them in the heart of the firstborn Brahma. And utilizing the knowledge of those 4 verses, Brahmaji then engaged in the task of creation. So Sri Krishna said to him, Ahameva sameva gredanyadhyat sadasat param paschadaham yadetaccha yovashishyetu sosmiham. This is an astonishing verse. You know, the Western philosopher Hegel had said that if we go on a rocket, at one place the world will end. What is there after the world? Is it there is nothing? It's not conceivable to our intellect. Or is it that the world just continues ad infinitum? This is also not conceivable to the intellect. So what is the answer? Similarly, he said, when this world did not exist, what existed? And a third one, if you wish to go into a little more philosophy, he said, this moment is the effect of the last moment. The last moment was the cause and this moment is the effect, as we see the world today. It was caused by the world, the previous moment. And the previous moment was the effect, the cause was the moment before. There's a chain of cause, effect, cause, effect, cause, effect. Now this chain either continues ad in minus infinity, it never began, or it began at a point in time. If it began at a point in time, you had a first cause. It was like a causeless first cause. Again, that is not comprehensible to our intellect. So these questions puzzle the philosophers. Out here, Sri Krishna is telling Brahmaji in the first verse of the Chatushloki Bhagavat, Ahameva, he says, Brahmaji, whatever is manifest in the form of this world is my energy. It is non-different from me. Where this world ends, beyond that is me. When this world did not exist, at the time of Mahapralaya, I alone existed. Now this world is manifest in my form. When the world will cease to be, I alone will remain. Nothing is apart from me. Such a huge piece of knowledge, right? At this point, Shaunakadik, they ask Sutaji that you mentioned about Mahatma Midori. We would like to hear a little more about Midori. Sutaji said, Shaunakadik, you are asking just the questions that Parikshit asked. The Parikshit asked Shukadeva that he wants to hear about Midori. Shukadeva then started relating. Mahatma Midori, he was a Dasi Putra. He was the step brother of Dhritarashtra and Pandu. He witnessed the atrocities being committed on the Pandavas. And when Duryodhana tried to kill them by creating the house of wax, but the Pandavas escaped. At that time, Vidur scolded Dhritarashtra. He said, "My dear brother, you need somebody who speaks frankly to you. You have got embroiled in the swamp of material existence. This Duryodhana is evil personified who has been born in your house. And because of attachment to him, you have got blinded. You are not only physically blind, you are also spiritually blind. And the cause is the attachment to this Duryodhana. He is the source of all evil. Reject him and practice your dharma as a king." Somebody went to Duryodhana and said that this is what Vidur spoke about you. Duryodhana said he has the guts to say that. He is subsisting on the food that I give to him, as he is my minister and he speaks against me. He dismissed Vidur. Vidur was now no longer the minister in Dhritarashtra's court. Subsequently, we all know that the Pandavas, they lived in Indraprastha, and Duryodhana invited them to a gambling match. With the help of evil Shakuni, he kept on winning, and Yudhishthira kept on putting at stake. And when nothing was left, so Duryodhana said, "You have your wife." And Yudhishthira said, "Yes, I put her at the stake." And he lost yet again. Now, when everything was snatched away from them, they went off then into the forest and they stayed there for 12 years and 1 year in hiding. And finally, when it was all over, they came to claim the kingdom that was their right, and Duryodhana refused. So now, the battle of Mahabharata was becoming imminent.